It's not that the height is listed wrong. We even brought along a tape measure. Drivers say it's just that the trucks are too big to be taking this road. That was one of the things about Obama's campaign all along, and we heard that from day one, that his grassroots effort kind of blew everybody else out of the water. If you look behind me, I mean, this is a really nice plot of land, exactly plenty of room to work with, but if you swing the camera around here, you start to see Urbana's problem. They say this is an industrial area, and they worry it's just not fit for a school. I know I saw a lot of it here, and you saw it in Danville too. Just the amount of people who came out who did not know these people, never met them, never met the families, just to show their support. Downtown Urbana is shut down and police filled the streets, all part of a training exercise to keep them ready for the real thing. This one here's name is Daisy. The owners here actually call her their little miracle. She was born really sick. They kind of helped nurse her back to life. They say it's all just part of the experience of working here. A special census is underway in the city of Springfield. Officials will survey 51 neighborhoods around the city to find out how much the city's grown since the last count in 2000. They say it's actually pretty rare. They say they get a lot of calls regarding BB guns, but it's always vandalism. It's always a broken window or a broken siding on a home. Josh's coach couldn't be happier about all the attention the star athlete has been getting. He says it's actually a long time coming. Alexandria James likes writing stories and playing like any other 9-year-old, but James is autistic.
They want to give me more blocks.
Her mother says she's being pushed out of school because of it.
I kept thinking that there wasn't something right with that. People in the school began to say, oh, well, she's not autistic, but she shows autistic behaviors.
James says Unit 4 is systematically driving her daughter out, saying she has behavioral problems, often restraining her in class instead of treating her like a child with autism.
I don't really like going to school because it's scary.
My daughter is afraid to go back to school. We're at the crossroads right now where I don't know if I trust the school enough to send my child back to their environment that is unsafe for her.
We are creating a group of children that are not educated.
Stephanie McCoy is a former teacher and now works with James as part of the group FAIR. She says schools want to get rid of students like James that may drive down overall test scores. McCoy says she's seen schools across the country systematically move disabled students to alternative schools or out altogether. And now she's seeing it here.
Following this procedure is totally inappropriate. So I went to police, I went to state representatives, state senators, I went to everybody.
These are pretty serious accusations. Is this happening in Unit 4?
An allegation that we would be removing children to alternative placements to affect our AYP status is not only false, it's impossible.
Shepard says FAIR's claims aren't reasonable because test scores for students in alternative classes still count, and they care only about kids.
What I can tell you about Unit 4 is that we have highly competent, highly caring teachers, administrators, and support staff who devote themselves to taking care of children. We are about kids, not about scores.
But James and other FAIR members say they are seeing too many students removed because of disabilities, and they vow to keep on fighting.
Once I started connecting with other parents and other groups that were fighting for the same cause, I was like, wow, I'm not alone. So I want parents to always know they're not alone. I love you.
When you're going head on to it, it's like you're challenging something that's monstrous in size, and you feel like you're about that big, and this thing is gigantic. Like a bug hitting a windshield.
Tracy Turner says he's never seen anything like it before, and if it's up to him, he never wants to see a train that close again.
I guess when you see something like that, you see death. That's all you see in front of you.
Turner and a passenger were waiting on the train to pass at this stop in Neoga when he says his accelerator got stuck.
The truck just revved up. I mean, really revved up high and started to take off.
There had to be some kind of a malfunction in that truck.
Norman Hughes was behind Turner when his truck took off. He says it was clear something went wrong.
My wife commented, she was with me, she said, I believe that guy's mad because the train's been there so long and he's going to go around it. And I said, no, there's something bad wrong.
Turner says he turned off the road to avoid hitting the cars around him and fought the truck with all of his strength as it headed right for the train.
I had the brakes, both feet on the brakes the whole way. We were flipping around so bad that we were heading right into the train head on. So I swerved real quick.
His reaction was the fastest I've ever seen anybody in my life.
I don't know how I did that so quick, just thought of it.
He clipped the train with the side of his truck. That's what saved him. And as he looks at the damage a day later, he can only think of one thing.
I'm so happy to be here even talking to you.
Wait just 1 second, 2009. 2008 will last 1 second longer thanks to that leap second. It's all part of science's ongoing attempt to perfectly sync up all the world's clocks. And it may not sound like much, but some people are making their plans.
Maybe I'd sleep in that 1 extra second.
1 more second, I would, I don't know, scream.
Others on the list, how about popping open a soda? Stopping to smell the flowers? Maybe you can clean up a spill, which there's bound to be plenty of tonight. Or maybe you can just take that second to make sure your hair is just right.
Second, so it's going to go by pretty quickly.
Some wonder if we even really want to wait another second to say goodbye to a year full of more downs than ups.
With the war and everything that's going on in the world, I don't know why it would matter if we had an extra second added on.
But others will use it to revel in the moment, or second, I guess.
I'm going to kiss her a second longer at midnight.
You didn't turn in for it.
No, I didn't. I guess that's not how I'm using my second.
And if you don't like this story, it only takes a second to turn off the TV. Still there? Well, the possibilities seem to be endless. But for my money, I'll agree with the couple. Just spend an extra second with the one you love. In Champaign, Charles Vance with your news now. Speeding, not wearing your seatbelt, or maybe downloading music illegally. All against the law, but all for some reason perfectly acceptable to most.
Speeding. I'm never exactly on the speed limit, so you're always, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles over.
I do speed a little, and I do download music illegally a little bit, and
Speeding tops the list along with littering and downloading music. Get a new survey that says the average person breaks the law at least once a day.
So many people do it that it's not really looked down upon.
Patrick Keenan is a professor of law at the University of Illinois. He has looked into this phenomenon and says people don't feel bad about breaking laws if others are also doing it.
If you think about why people obey the law, they obey the law not because it's the law, but because they don't want to be embarrassed in front of their neighbors.
Take campus, for example. You'll find people who break the law a lot more than once a day, and it's all usually the same offense.
Jaywalk. Definitely jaywalk.
I jaywalk, which is, I'm sure everybody on campus does that every day at some point.
And the reason?
Everyone else is doing it, so you just don't even pay attention to the streetlights, really.
Keenan says disobeying some laws can be dangerous, but the small ones are broken no matter where you are in the world, from New York to Tokyo.
Most people don't obey the rules because they're rules. They only obey the rules if they think the police will catch them.
And odds are you'll get away with most of these, but some will never escape the guilt.
I feel guilty the whole time, but I just can't make myself obey the rules.